Ayuk to outscore. I need Brandon Ayuk to outscore Eli Mitchell by 2. So like,
Okay.
I've got a chance, but like Mahomes, man, 47 points.
Well, it is a 6-point per passing touchdown league, and he threw 5 touchdowns. So
it's just like, man, what the heck?
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, shit happens. But we are live. We actually got Javon and Brock basically setting the tone in the comments right away. So what up, boys? Cam Newton against Cardinals. Damn, Cam back in the game. Yeah, I mean, it kind of was unfortunate because I had Christian McCaffrey in DFS and cost me a couple $1,000. But
yeah, I mean, Tom like Brady in DFS. So we'll talk about our problems at a separate time.
I'll just say if you Cam vultured Christian McCaffrey twice, and Christian McCaffrey got pulled from the game because they were up huge.
Yeah, and he re-aggravated his hamstring too. By
those
looks,
12 points,
not re-aggravated it, but it looks a little. Yeah.
Either way, man, I could have won so much freaking money. Like it's, I still made money. I still made profit, but like,
I got fucked last week.
Damn.
I only min cashed in one of my 5 lineups. So I didn't do well. I had 2 Brady lineups. Neither of them cashed, obviously. The one Dak lineup I had didn't cash either, even though I had Dak, Dearness, and Lamb and Zeke. I had all those guys, and I still couldn't cash because I had like Marvin Jones, T.Y. Hilton, like a bunch of guys just sucked.
Also, there was the one play with Michael Gallup. He literally he got the catch on like the 2-yard line, right? If he freaking scores on that play too, that I had the Dak and Gallup stack, and Zeke ended up running it in. So it's like that could have been also a big twist turning point for my game too. But you know, you live and you learn. It's a good week, but just a couple things could have made me a lot richer.
Yeah. Javon, I have an open slot. Who should I draft or start? I'm guessing OBJ or Brandon Ayuk. I feel like this is going to be a popular question. If anybody has a decision left to make, I would go with Ayuk over OBJ.
I don't mind that. It depends. Like, how much are you down by?
Yeah, like I just personally think that OBJ if you're down, is going to be, eased in to some extent. Why is Jeff Wilson projected for 0 points? Is he inactive?
I don't know.
I have him in my DraftKings lineup, and I think he's inactive if he's not projected for any points.
Was a good idea for me to pick up Wentz and drop Cousins. They're pretty much the same, honestly. Like same type of tier, right outside the top 12, kind of like in that fringe top 16 area.
I agree with Brock though. He said Wentz plays the Bills and Bucks the next 2 weeks, so probably not.
I agree with that though. I didn't know the matchups, but
yeah.
Or should I try getting Teddy or Taylor? Don't worry about Teddy Bridgewater. Or
Tyler Taylor. I'd probably just pick Cousins back up, to be honest.
Yeah.
We missed the Aaron Jones thing. Do you guys think that Aaron Jones will come back with his injury?
I'm hearing MCL sprain.
Yeah, MCL they have sprain 3 weeks. I talked about it on Monday. They said 1 to 2 weeks, but they have a bye week. Or did I say Monday? Earlier today, sorry. I was talking about it, but they have a bye in week 13. The timeline's 1 to 2 weeks. My thoughts are you have a very capable backup running back. They're going to rest him until after the bye. That's what I mean. He'll be out 3 games then, basically, or 3 weeks, but 2 games.
Yeah, like I was about to say, because with a typical MCL sprain, you usually see about 3 weeks. So, I don't know. After the bye, maybe a couple games, but either way, in the absence that we should see from Aaron Jones, I mean, AJ Dillon got absolutely freaking fed in that game. Now the Seahawks offense wasn't really putting up much of a fight, regardless. But if Aaron Jones missing any time, I think we can lock and load AJ Dillon into that top 10 type of running backs on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah.
Once plays the Bill, should I try getting if I'm a contending team in a dynasty league, what should I be willing to give up to get Gronk? I have no fan, but he's a little unreliable. I honestly would just stick with what you got personally. It's not a big enough upgrade for me to willingly give up, a second rounder or something like that, which is, maybe what you have to give up. Plus Gronkowski isn't going to be back next week. I don't think it doesn't sound like. Of him and Antonio Brown, it sounds like Antonio Brown is the one that is way closer to coming back than Gronkowski. Yeah. For my new QB, because I already have Murray. Oh, yeah. Like once Murray's back, you're chilling too. Hit the like. Thanks for answering my question. Yeah, I appreciate that. We currently have 14 people in here. Let me just quickly check how many likes.
2 likes.
Yeah, probably. Let me just take a look though. We have 6 likes. So I want to see that up to 14 because people should be rolling in too.
Gordo says, I need 30 points to win my fantasy. I have 2 players playing tonight, Debo and Elijah Mitchell, but I have a problem who to start, Elijah Mitchell or OBJ, to help give me points. I mean, on one hand, you have a player on both sides of the ball if you go with OBJ, which is definitely, nice to have, obviously. If it's a high-scoring game of any kind on both sides, then you're in good shape. I personally would go with Elijah Mitchell, though. I think he's the safer play.
Yeah.
I think he's guaranteed volume as a starting running back of the team. So I would go with Debo and Eli Mitchell and just hope that it's not a dumpster fire by the 49ers offense. I've seen a lot of people say, like, happy Trey Lance week, like before this game. Like, they think that Garoppolo is going to get benched at some point during this game and play and Trey Lance is going to come in. That would make a lot of sense, I would say, but I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm up 57 with Kittle still to play. Opponent has Stafford, Henderson, Kupp, and Ayuk. A lot of math, but you guys think I'm good. So theoretically, if we want to, like, assuming half PPR, you want to try.
Just give Kittle 15. Just
I was about to say 12. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say you're going to be up 70, including Kittle.
So let's say you get 20 to 25 from Stafford, 17 to 20 from Henderson, like 17 to.
The nice thing is that you have Henderson and Kupp, and I think they kind of take away from each other based on like touchdown scoring and stuff like that. So I think you should be okay, but I would hope for like a touchdown out of Kittle just to make sure that you're okay.
Facts. I'm down by 22. Another great call yesterday, Hunter Henry. You guys are great. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Hunter Henry was such an easy thing to see coming. I wish I played him in more DFS lineups. I had him in two. I didn't have him in any of my DraftKings lineups. I had him on 2 of my FanDuel ones, and I wish I played him in a couple more DraftKings ones. As soon as Jonnu Smith was rolled out, I should have played him.
I played so much Dan Arnold though, so I'm pretty.
You know what's fucking insane? The guy who won the Millie Maker, he played Dearness Johnson, right? Obviously, everybody did. And he to mini stack Dearness Johnson and get leverage against Dearness Johnson. He played Hunter Henry and Ramondre Stevenson. Both were sub 3% ownership. I was like, how was Ramondre Stevenson sub 3% in the Millie Maker?
Man, that's insane.
Also, Hunter Henry being that low owned was also pretty.
How much did he score? Like, he had 1 or 2 touchdowns. Henry, yeah. Damn.
He had 4 touchdowns between those 2 Patriots players.
Also, that Elijah Moore last second garbage time touchdown kind of won me a little bit. So
yeah, you love to see Elijah Moore just being Elijah Moore too. I'm working at a trade with Squid in Scott's Tots right now, and he wants me to give him Elijah Moore in the deal. I'm trying to send him like Eckler, Mike Williams, and Tyler Lockett, like all the win now pieces that I don't need for that team, for Bateman, Gibson, and a first rounder. And then I also threw in like Khalil Herbert and like a third or something on top of what I was offering. And he's like trying to get Elijah Moore out of me, and I'm like, nah, dude, like I'm not giving you Elijah Moore. I have Zach Wilson. I'm not giving up Elijah Moore.
You want the meta.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Saquon rest of the season? I might win my league if he's close to himself. I think he's like a locked and loaded, like once he comes back, like top 8-ish type of running back.
Right. And we will have our rest of season rankings on Friday for you guys to talk about where we exactly see every running back that you're probably curious about. And we'll definitely focus on, what's changed since the last time we've done it as well.
Would have been this past Friday, but obviously I had an exam on Saturday because why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Just need Debo to score less than 19. Praying for Yagi. We actually got a $4.99 super chat here from AJ. I just noticed it. What's up, boys? Dynasty, I'm giving Saquon, Julio for AJ Brown and Edmonds. Thought I'm a competitor. Other running backs are Chubb, Dalvin, Carson. Just lost Woods. So let's just say, like, for ease, Saquon and AJ Brown are relative.
I think this is a fair trade all around. Yeah. I personally would rather have the Saquon side just because I think Saquon's a little bit more valuable than AJ Brown.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you need a running back, if you need a wide receiver, they're pretty even in value. You're talking about a top 5 dynasty wide receiver and a top 5 dynasty running back, in my opinion, at least on Saquon.
If you can, and you obviously you need a receiver, you mentioned, I would try to get like a 2 attached to this, because that's probably how I view it right now. Like, I would rather Saquon over AJ Brown, because I think when Saquon's healthy, he's a locked and loaded, like top 7 super flex type of pick, whereas AJ Brown's more of a second rounder. So if you can try to finagle that out of it, I'd be more willing to do it.
Yeah, if someone's willing to throw in Terrace Marshall on top of the AJ Brown side or something like that, just something simple.
Yeah, it's something easy. But yeah, I appreciate that $4.99 super chat, AJ. Where did we leave off?
Baboon just sucks. I'm up by 12. I have Henderson and Matt Gay. The other guy has Kittle and Mitchell.
So let's just say let's just say you're even because I assume like we'll just say Kittle gets the 12 on his own. Then you got Henderson and Gay versus Mitchell. I think you probably win that.
That's close, man.
Yeah.
I would say like what you're hoping for is like the 49ers get blasted by the Rams, obviously, and you just get all the carries out of Henderson, a couple field goals, extra points out of Matt Gay, and Kittle and Mitchell are just they can't get anything going on offense or anything. But I stacked up my my showdown lineup. I got Cup, Stafford, or Cup in the MVP slot. I got Stafford, Debo Samuel, Van Jefferson, Rams defense, and Jeff Wilson is what I got rolling right now.
Hopefully, Cup doesn't have a great game though because Sexy Pats has him in Scott's thoughts.
Well, I put him in the MVP slot for a reason because I was like, is there a world where I don't put Cup or Stafford in the MVP slot? And I was like, I don't think I can do it. I was like, should I get cute and put Debo in it? I'm like, I think I'm
up. I mean, will you take 32 from Cup?
32. Hey, as long as it wins me $1 million, I'll have a 10-3 game where Cup scores the only touchdown. Would be excellent.
Actually, wait, hold up.
Or how about just no scoring? Just give me a 7 reception, 140-yard game and no touchdowns for Cooper Kupp. That'd be nice.
Yeah, facts. Also, side note, I'm playing Lucas in League of Tone Setters. He has Debo and Kittle. I have Higbee, and I'm up 27.1 right now.
I need in the Listener Dynasty League, I need Debo to get me 3 points. So should be okay. But
side note, we left off on Zach. We got actually another $4.99 super chat from James here. What's up, guys? Took your advice yesterday and package Mixon, Mitchell, and Van Jefferson for Saquon, Deontay, T. Higgins.
W.
Fucking
Huge
absolute
Huge
W. Like,
yeah. Mixon and Mitchell is about worth what Saquon is worth, in my opinion, like those two running backs together. And then I would rather have I'd rather have Deontay Johnson. I'd rather have T. Higgins than Van Jefferson, let alone Deontay Johnson. So
I was about to say, heck,
if you pick this piece one by one, you go Saquon over Mixon, Deontay over Mitchell, and Higgins over Van. Like, it's a win across the board.
Fully agree. That's a big dub right there. And again, I appreciate that $4.99 super chat, James.
Yeah.
Where do
Zach?
Ayuk, give me Ayuk there, Zach.
Yeah, give me Ayuk as well.
What's up, guys? Rough week started. Jasicki, Goddard, Russ, DJ Moore. Not even CMC. Oh man, pain.
Yeah, it's
pain. Are you guys doing a trade target video before the 20th? Want to target a couple guys before the trade deadline?
Yeah, I'll drop it tomorrow.
Yep. Would you trade Lamb for AJ Brown and Swift? I'll take Brown and Swift.
One thing I might do, should I do a full, like a 2-part trade target video, like quarterbacks and tight end, or like quarterbacks and running backs, wide receivers and tight ends, just because a lot of people's trade deadlines are coming up. Maybe I should do like a 2-parter.
That's all you.
But I don't know if I have time for that this week.
That's what I'm saying. That's all you, bro.
Because I'm going to the Bills game this weekend, so I got to go get like a COVID test and shit before I leave. Plus, I'm leaving Saturday morning, so I'm gonna have to get shit done in advance so that because I usually record the must starts and sits video Saturday morning, but I won't be there to do that, so I'll have to get ahead of schedule. But maybe I'll do it next week, a 2-parter. I'm not sure because it's like officially usually trade deadline week right before Thanksgiving. So next week I'll probably do a 2-parter. But yeah,
that's all you, brother. Where do we leave off? Traded for AJ Dillon. Aaron Jones got bailed out.
I don't think we answered Robert here.
Oh, yeah, no, I said I'd go AJ Brown and Swift easily.
Oh yeah, AJ Brown and Swift, yeah, for sure.
I think you meant the other way around, right, Wyatt? Because you just traded for Aaron Jones in our league.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, because he literally just traded away. Was it Cup for Aaron Jones and
something?
Some
Devonta Smith.
Devonta Smith, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know Aaron Jones, but I have Dylan everywhere. Let's go. There you go.
Yeah, I have only one share of either running back, and I have Dylan in one dynasty league, but I am tanking in it, so it doesn't really matter.
I would rather Lockett side, but I understand guys weak at running back needs a couple wins.
I would rather Dylan than Lockett.
Really?
Yeah, I would. I think you're getting a top 12 running back for 2 weeks. Is Lockett going to have a top 12 receiving performance the rest of the year?
Who knows?
That's what I mean. He absolutely could, but he's also going to sink your lineup 3 weeks at least. I don't know. I'd rather have especially if I'm in any kind of position where I need to win. Like I would rather have AJ Dillon for sure.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I would still probably rather lock it on face value. Should I trade J.S. Jacobs? He sold bad. Need Debo to have a big game tonight. I mean, the one time I actually say, oh, maybe Jacobs gonna have a good week, he fucking absolutely shits the bed.
That's right now. We have an Ayuk and OBJ bet, by the way. So that's standing tonight.
Did you end up writing Pitts versus Waller down, by the way?
Yeah,
I did take Pitts. Perfect. Okay.
Did Pitts win that?
Yeah, 4 for 60.
That's such a joke. He had like 8 points.
Yeah.
I beat you on J-Rob versus Jacobs by a landslide, though.
Yeah,
so.
fucking Jacobs is shit.
Yeah. J-Rob, you want to hear this? Millie Maker ownership, 0.8% people play J-Rob.
How many points did he have?
Like 17.
Not bad.
Yeah, pretty. Actually, he had 60. Sorry, he had 16 on FanDuel, so you would have had more than that on DraftKings.
What else
Also,
did you?
Swift, you want to hear something fucking insane? Swift played 66 of 71 snaps and had 2 touchdowns siphoned away by Godwin, Igwe, and Jefferson. They played 5 combined snaps between those 2 running backs, and they both broke off like a 30-yard touchdown.
Side note, what were our other bets then? It was Pitts, Waller.
It was Pitts, Waller, Jacobs, J-Rob, OBJ, and Ayuk.
Those are the only 3 we did?
We only did those 3, yeah.
Wow, we're whack.
Yeah, I kind of actually like, I have a notepad in front of me. I ordered a bunch of notepads from Amazon, so I might actually just start recording them myself just because it's easy for me to see then. But
how does Elijah Mitchell and Jerry Jeudy for David Montgomery sound? I would rather Mitchell and Jeudy side, but
I would rather Mitchell and Jeudy as well, but it's not horrible. I would say it's not bad, but I don't know. Montgomery is a guy that I do like trading for, as I talked about on Tuesday, but yeah, Elijah Mitchell for Montgomery, I feel like you could almost pull that off straight up.
Yeah, in most leagues.
Like I feel like most people would value Elijah Mitchell higher.
Start Barkley next week. I have Jacobs, Montgomery, Aaron Jones, Ingram, PPR. If
you're not going to have Jones.
Yeah, if Barkley plays, you're starting Barkley.
Yeah, I would start, like, again, you're not going to have Jones. So Barkley to me is like your best running back. Yep. And Montgomery is like him, like he's right behind him kind of thing. And Nick Underhill of the SaintsFootball.com or whatever, he basically reported that Kamara's thing is like a 1-week thing. Like they're not expecting him to be out very long.
My boy JVEC right here. Big up the dynamic duo. You guys are killing it. Appreciate that, JVEC. Saw you ended up taking another dub this week. I'm still mad about a couple weeks ago, but
yeah, I need a brutal Matthew Stafford performance tonight to win.
I'm down. Love y'all. Thanks for what you do. Appreciate that. Jack means a lot.
Yep.
Would you rather have Fields, Lance, or a 2022 Superflex first round pick?
I would need 2 2022 picks at least to get rid of them quarterbacks. Yeah. Because like again, you got to think quarterback value in Superflex is very important. There is no like any of the quarterbacks that came out this year would be the QB1 in 2022, and like including Mac Jones.
And I quickly want to, and from fantasy purposes, I would still rather a couple of the quarterbacks this year than Mac, but from a real life,
from what I've seen, I haven't watched them in depth or anything. But from what I've seen so far, Mac
he had a great real life game. He had a great real life game this week, and he put up 19 points.
Yeah, no,
that's the thing with Mac Jones. Is
he also has no weapons, though. In the future, I know he's a good quarterback, so he's eventually going to get some receiving talent around him. A nice little Treylon Burks in the first round could go a long way.
Yeah. Either way, like I don't know.
But as far as like selling those guys for first round picks, like if you can capitalize on like a panicking manager who's like obsessed with draft capital, and you could sell them a 2022 first and a young receiver for one of these quarterbacks, that's stealing. It's stealing.
Like honest to God, like I would need to know first of all that I'm getting a 2022 first overall pick, and I'd also need another first round pick attached to it.
I'd probably need 2 top 5 picks to move either of those guys.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so, and that's not like I wasn't even that high on Justin Fields relative to a lot of people, and I still think he's a class above the rest of the quarterbacks that we're going to see this year.
Yep. Josh Jacobs for Devonta Smith or Hollywood. I'd take the 2 receivers over Josh Jacobs. I'd probably go after. I'd definitely go after Hollywood first.
Hollywood would be the one I would go after 100%. Yeah,
I would still take Devonta over Jacobs if I can. Smith. Yeah. No, I'd go after Hollywood, but if you can't get Hollywood, like I would still rather Smith over Jacobs rest of the season.
Yep.
Can Knox be trusted still, or should I get Hunter Henry or Arnold on waivers? Lost Goddard.
Honestly, I think he asked this question this morning. I'm okay dropping Goddard for Hunter Henry, to be honest, with Goddard being injured.
Yeah. Start 3, week 11, Carter, Dylan, Saquon, Monty, Ramondre Stevenson, Darrell Williams. So, okay. We don't know if Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to be back. If Clyde Edwards,
I have no idea who any of these guys are playing. So week 11 start sit questions are usually not the most accurate if you ask me them on Monday. But I would say AJ Dillon and Saquon are absolutely in your lineup.
Yeah. And then
it's Montgomery versus Carter. I don't know who they're playing. Like off the top of my head. So
I go with Monty regardless, to be honest. Unless Carter has like the cakest of cake matchups.
Yeah, I'm looking for where Carter has right now, or what Carter has right now. I have him in the listener league, so I'll check. Carter has Miami. That's a good matchup. And I
Bears
think
play the Ravens.
Zach Wilson will probably be back next week too.
I would still go with Monty though, but Bears play the Ravens.
Yeah, that's a pretty good matchup as well.
I'm in a 1 quarterback dynasty league and I'm rebuilding. I got to offer Terrace Marshall and I'd be giving Mac Jones. Should I do it? Like if you're
I still wouldn't do that.
Like I would.
I haven't it's nothing against Terrace Marshall because he hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities. He plays in like pretty bad offense, and he has established guys ahead of him. But I mean, they re-signed Robbie Anderson, right? Like we can't ignore that about Terrace Marshall. They re-signed Robbie Anderson, and
the thing that I kind of have a question about too is, again, don't get me wrong, I had a really strong pre-draft feeling, or like even post-draft once the NFL draft happened about Terrace Marshall. But let's be honest here. We want to make excuses for guys, but at the end of the day here, he has not produced really even in the slightest as a rookie. And like, he's a talented player.
Great receiver, he'd be able to overtake Robbie Anderson with the way Robbie Anderson's playing.
Yeah, like I still think he's a talented player, but realistically here, we know the history about players that don't really produce at all in year one, and it's bleak to say the least. I mean, freaking for crying out loud, like Henry Ruggs before that whole deal was literally like the poster child of stepping up. Because we don't see players stepping up
right now.
But the thing is, at least Pittman had production last year. He had about 600 yards. He produced to a certain degree. Like, there's just like Brian Edwards. Is that his best comp at this point?
Yeah, it's tough, man. Terrace Marshall, he kind of reminds me of is Jalen Reagor. Like in terms of like the hype that he had around him as a player.
I think he's a better player, but
I was lower on Terrace Marshall. He was like my wide receiver 10 pre-draft, so I wasn't as high on him. I saw a guy that was like a little bit. Like I think I tweeted something about him being Rashard Higgins, like a good college receiver that I don't see being very good in the NFL. And then once he went to the Panthers, I kind of warmed up to him a little bit more. And I was like, this guy could be a great player. And I was still, willing to invest an early second round pick into the guy. But I was never on board with the because people had him ranked higher than like Devontae Smith and shit.
Yeah, which is
after the draft. I'm like, there's no way I'm doing that. Like I just can't do that with Terrace Marshall because I wasn't 100% in on him pre-draft to the point that I was okay just like throwing him ahead of like Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle, who got first round draft capital.
For sure. Trade deadline, 12 team half PPR quarterback.
Okay, so you got 2 elite running backs and AJ Dillon. It's, oh my God, you have fucking AJ Dillon, CMC, Swift, and Saquon. I don't even need to read the rest of your question.
This just looks like a hold, man. Like, I don't know what else
you have.
To say.
Okay, so you have Josh Allen, you have Darren Waller, so you have elite positional advantages there. Although Waller hasn't necessarily performed quite yet, he's still a positional advantage. You have Swift, CMC, and Saquon, and AJ Dillon and Carter at running back. Wide receiver, you have AJ Brown, Diggs, DJ Moore. I mean, like you're a little weak at wide receiver relative to the rest of your team, depending on how many people you can flex, but I would assume in your flex spot, you're going to be flexing CMC, Swift, Saquon anyway, and probably AJ Dillon now too. So I would just hold. You're in great position.
Yep. Losing by 1 point, caught Jefferson in the left, and my opponent has Mitchell. Happy pair. You guys think I can win? Van Jefferson versus Elijah Mitchell.
Van Jefferson's got to outperform him by 2 points, basically, or 1.5.
Yeah, no offense.
I like Van Jefferson this week, man. I think he's going to be good this week. I have him ranked really high. Because I think Beckham's going to play like 30% of the snaps is what I think is going to happen. Maybe that changes, but I think he's not going to play a whole lot. And Van Jefferson's going to be the guy that gets, the big play or whatever in this game.
If they weren't running the most 11 personnel in the league, I would agree. But I do think Odell Beckham's going to get good amounts of playing time. But again, we'll see. Again, it's going to happen in about 10 minutes. So, but either way, it's going to be tough for Van Jefferson to do that over Elijah Mitchell.
I need 4 Darrell Henderson rushing touchdowns in this game. I don't want Matthew Stafford getting any points.
I'm down with that. I'm down 43 in one of my home leagues, and I have Darrell Henderson because apparently.
I pulled the win-win scenario where I put Matthew Stafford into my DFS lineup so that if he does do well, at least I get some kind of benefit out of it. But in my home league, I am up 15 and a half, I think, right now with Matthew Stafford left to play on the other side. So I'm really hoping Matthew Stafford has like a 300-yard, 0 touchdown game.
Dude, imagine. Side note, let me just read this real quick. Answer a question while I'm doing this, by the way.
No worries. What to do with DJ Moore? Would you play Higgins, A-Rob, Bateman over him? T. Higgins, I'm okay playing over DJ Moore, depending on the matchup this week. A-Rob and Bateman, no. But T. Higgins, depending on his matchup, I'm okay putting over DJ Moore. All
right, you ready? Listen to this, right?
So
he had Jalen Hurts, Jonathan Taylor, Stephon Diggs, Ramondre Stevenson, Elijah Moore just carried his team.
Yeah.
He's up.
That'll happen.
I need a miracle from Daryl Henderson. Like,
Javon said, "You guys think I'm good in my other league? I have Stafford. My opponent has Cup. I'm up by 10. I think you're okay there because anything that happens to Cup will go to Stafford as well. So
agreed. What do I do with DJ Moore? Package him with someone else to buy low on AJ Brown? Yeah, like I don't mind doing DJ Moore in a small piece for AJ Brown at all.
yeah, if you see, I've seen people are very concerned with AJ Brown, and I don't know why. I'm not at all. He's had like a 35% target share up until last week. Yeah, so no, I'm not worried about AJ Brown whatsoever as an AJ Brown owner too. Like I have AJ Brown in my home league and I'm not concerned at all. Like, does it suck? He only had 4 targets and 1 reception for like 14 yards or whatever it was. Yeah, obviously it sucks, but he was getting shadowed by Lattimore and Tannehill. Much like every quarterback, they just don't throw at Lattimore. It's not that Lattimore is like some elite shutdown corner. They just don't throw at him because the rest of the Saints corners are dog shit.
Yep. I agree there. I'm in a 2-keeper league, and even though it's a while away, I want to start thinking JT, Saquon, which 2 would you guys keep? So off my head right now, like is it JT and Adams?
It's 100% JT. He's easily one of them.
And I think Adams is 100% the other one.
I mean, again, it's a while away.
I'm not taking Saquon over Adams, bro.
If Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers are back on the Green Bay Packers next year,
yeah, that's assuming that.
Yes. But that's up in the air, right? It's the last dance whole shit. Like they could, Adams could be a fucking Las Vegas Raider next year. Like we have no idea what's going to happen. I think that's going to happen, by the way. I think Adams is going to go to the Raiders next year.
Now, what about Devontae Adams with Derek Carr? Are you taking him?
Not over Saquon, no. Or any of the other 2 receivers, to be honest, in this question.
Really?
I'd rather have Diggs and AJ Brown than Adams as a Raider next year.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe like it's it's a little bit of a hot take. Maybe I'm overspeaking a little bit, but Diggs for sure I would rather have than Adams. Maybe AJ Brown's a little closer.
I don't know, man. And again, we're like, I don't know. As we're trading Dylan, if so, what can I fetch? Thanks. If you could sell high on Dylan for especially someone that needs a running back, like I would try to target a top 30s type of wide receiver.
I think you can get more than that, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can buy low on like Amari Cooper.
Yeah, I think you can get somebody like that, like Terry McLaurin, Amari Cooper, somebody in that kind of realm is probably who I'd be looking at. DJ Moore potentially.
Yep. Agree.
I'm down by 12. I have Kittle and Henderson. Do I have a good chance? Oh yeah, you're fine. You're down by 12. You have Kittle and Henderson. I think you're okay. Yep. If I would have started Darrell Williams last night, I would have already won. Yeah. Given the information you had, there's no way I was going to sit Darrell Henderson for Darrell Williams.
You're still going to win though. Thanks for convincing me to take CH and Chenault for Lockett in my Dynasty League age well this week with Lockett's performance. He asked me. He's like, should I take CEH? I was like, I don't even like CEH that much, and that's an easy trade to make. Agreed. I need 42.2 from Elijah and Henderson. How are you feeling? That's going to be really close.
Yeah. By the way, Justin, once CEH comes back on the field, if he has a big game, I'm trying to sell him again. Yeah. Like I don't want CEH whatsoever, but maybe he just has no value in your league. Every league is different with that kind of stuff.
Van Jefferson or Ayuk? I'd take Ayuk over Jefferson.
I would take Ayuk too, but I like them both.
Trade Elijah Mitchell and Brandon Cooks for Thielen. What do y'all think of Thielen rest of the season? I wouldn't have done that deal, to be honest.
I think him and Brandon Cooks are pretty close, to be honest, in value. And obviously Elijah Mitchell is a usable running back. So,
and in full PPR, Mahomes and Lockett or Amari and Dak. I'll take Amari and Dak there, but
give me Amari and Dak for sure. Yeah, I would rather Lockett and Amari isn't really a close conversation to me.
I'll give you a little shout out, Evan. Congrats on the big win. It hurt as a Guelph guy, but no, hopefully you guys can get the job done now, because at the end of the day, cheering for my SEM lads over there.
What are you talking about?
Plays for Western.
Oh, true. Okay.
What's up? 27.8. The other guy has Cup and Debo. I have Mitchell. Stick me in the grave. I'm done. Waller killed me.
Cup and Debo. You have Mitchell. I don't know. If you get like a 2 touchdown performance out of Mitchell, you're okay. But
like, even if like 27.8
of the 2 weapons in this game that you don't want to go up against, those are the 2 that I would pick first.
Yeah, facts. So, how low are you dropping Mike Williams in the rankings?
He's going down. He's going down. He's going to be like where'd we have him before?
Top 20. He was like
top
number
12
8 for us
the first time we did it.
He's number 8.
Yeah, we had him in the top 10 the first time we did it, right? Because it was peak Mike Williams season, and Now I mean, this guy's in Tyler Lockett territory now. He's a boomer bust wide receiver 3.
Yeah, unfortunate. I need 15 from both Kittle and Debo tonight. If I don't get that, I just plain out have bad luck. Yeah, that's really unfortunate if you don't get that. This is a Matt early question, but do you think Waddle's a good flex start next week? I mean,
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, given the volume he sees.
Tua's already been announced that he's starting, and they play the Jets. So I mean,
didn't Max score 25
for him?
Didn't Max score 25 points? I believe he only threw 200
In a
yards
6-point, maybe.
Yeah, I was about to say in a 6-point probably.
In our listener dynasty league, I have Mac Jones, and he scored like 19.5.
Yeah, I was about to say I think it was 19.8.
Yeah.
Mahomes
is back. Yeah, he is. He is back.
Yeah.
Like again, I think if you had any opportunity to buy low on Kansas City, and I talked about Tyreek as a guy that you should have been buying low on, just because, and Kelsey too, because there's no way that the Chiefs offense could last being bad. Like it just didn't make sense. And we've actually seen this from Andy Reid's offenses before. If you guys remember in 2017 in Mahomes' rookie year, there was a stretch where like Alex Smith looked like shit after like looking like the best quarterback in the NFL the first like 5 weeks of that season. And like Kareem Hunt wasn't getting involved. Like nothing was going right.
I remember that. I had Hunt.
It was really weird. And then it like just kind of adjusted itself back. I think it was more so of like an Andy Reid play calling thing. Sometimes he just gets out of his own way and is like, hey, maybe I should just like throw the ball to Tyreek and Kelsey only.
Also, side note, Bush, you're going to have some fun researching that Chiefs Cowboys game this week, eh?
Oh, dude, is that the matchup? Holy shit.
4 o'clock on Sunday, boys.
Dude, that's got to be like the biggest chalk matchup I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, like that game's going to be
How do you
ridiculous.
not play people from that game?
You have to. You have to. Now, like, I have again, like this is going to be
if you fade that game though and it misses, like that's the whole field down.
Dude, and I was gonna again, like you're gonna obviously have a few lineups with it. Obviously, you're gonna make a few lineups without it.
I'll be mini stacking the shit out of it. Even if I don't do a whole like Mahomes Prescott shit, like I'll just take Hill and Cooper and mini stack them.
Fucking Gallup's gonna have a game, man. Gallup's gonna have a game. I don't know what it is. Again, maybe it's because it's the Amari Cooper factor where he comes off a couple quiet performances and then he just booms. But I think he might go off for like 150 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about Cooper and DFS. My biggest DFS win ever is because of Amari Cooper. That one Eagles game where he like dropped like 3 touchdowns. I think I won
2018.
Yeah, I think I won like $600 on like a $10 entry because of Amari Cooper. I came like top 10 in whatever contest I was in.
I lost that freaking that $888 one. I lost by 8 points because McCaffrey got pulled.
That's brutal. Yeah. Okay, so the game's already started, so we'll try and speed through some of these.
We'll go to 820. Drop Ayuk to pick up Mitchell. 10-man league. I'm not starting Ayuk. Wait, Elijah Mitchell's available.
Michelle.
Oh, Ayuk. Don't.
Yeah, give me Ayuk there. But I'd like to stash Michelle if I can hold him on my bench.
PPR Mitchell or Van Jeffy tonight. Give me Mitchell.
Yeah, the game's already started. There's like fog going on, which I'm loving right now. Oh no, I see a heave. Yeah, that's a pick. Let's go. Matthew Stafford, already the negatives. Let's go.
Dude, side note.
There's like a bunch of fog out there right now. I love to see this.
With Brady having a lackluster game this week.
Oh, lackluster doesn't even begin to describe the performance that Brady had this week.
Who's the MVP favorite right now? Who?
Yeah, I mean, Lamar had a bad game on Thursday too.
Like,
there isn't an MVP favorite right now. It's going to be like
whoever gets the one
stretch thing. Like whoever kind of like performs down the stretch, whoever's the most recent good performances is probably going to win it.
Yeah, and like although like again like Dak missed a game and he had a bad game, like he's in it too.
Everybody's had some duds. Like Stafford had a dud last week against Tennessee. Brady had a dud last week. Brady had a dud 2 weeks ago against the Saints. He was fine against the Rams the first time, so I don't think I'd hold that against him. But he's also kind of just abused the bad teams. But you know what's insane about Brady? He has 5 games this year of 4 or more touchdowns passing.
Yeah. Well, he has 27 touchdowns already in 9 games.
He had 5 games of 4 or 5 touchdowns. That was like the most insane stat I saw when I was writing him up in the DFS articles this past week. I'm like, dude, he's played 8 games. He has 5 games of 4 or more touchdowns. That's insane.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Side note.
Let's rip through some of these here. Thank you for the grind chat. Leave a like for these dudes.
Appreciate that. We actually got one super chat here from James Will, 499. Appreciate that a lot. He says, "Hey, thank you guys. I'm currently sitting at number 2 in all my leagues, 8-2 in 2 of them, and 7-3 in the other." Yeah, that's phenomenal, James. Hopefully, you can come through with a few dubs in your leagues. Obviously, take that cash home. Am I right?
Yeah. Who should I get? Who should I look to get with Terry McLaurin and Amari Cooper bundled together?
Superstar. Like I need like an Adams.
Those 2 guys. I'm not trading those 2 guys. They're both at basement value right now.
That's what, but I mean, like, if I have to
Oh
trade
yeah,
them,
like if you can get Adams
I'm
for that,
I'm
I'm
going
cool with it. But
Adams.
like,
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna get the value that you should get for those players. So I would just hold them for now.
Yep. But yeah, let's read this one and head out of here. Would you trade Diggs for Mixon? I got AJ Brown in a 4 wide receiver league. I would personally want to hold Diggs here
Yeah.
because you got a really strong strength. I would just keep capitalizing on that. I mean, AJ Brown, Judy, Diggs, and Deontay Johnson's a fearsome 4 stack at wide receiver.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
I can rapid fire these. Yeah.
Hey boys,
Appreciate that.
appreciate that,
Uh,
Rollo.
appreciate
See
you
ya, love
seeing you,
you,
Javon.
fellas. Thanks for helping me another win. I listened to my team on the stream last week. I want to know if you guys. Ross will be next. Yeah, feel free to DM us because I can't remember off head. Up by 15. I have Rams DST going against Stafford. What do you think? Let's say you can chalk the Rams D in for 7-ish points. It'll be close.
Yeah.
What wide
Gibson's an
receivers?
interesting discussion. I'm going to talk about him tomorrow for sure. And I don't know which category he's going to be in.
I don't know either.
Buy low or sell high. I have no idea which category I'm going to put him in. But
I'm probably
I was
selling
very,
high.
very encouraged with what I saw compared to my expectations coming in. Because I thought he was going to be 50% of the snaps, 14 carries, 40 yards, 1 target, 10 yards, like kind of stat line. And 26 opportunities and 63% of the snaps and almost as many routes as McKissick was exactly what I wanted to see coming off the bye as a Gibson manager.
And you would have saw the game obviously in person, right? Because you're watching your Bucks. Like, how did he look?
He looked better.
Looked better or looked good?
Looked more explosive.
Okay. All right.
He didn't have a whole lot of running room at first, but he was able to get going a little bit more towards the midpoint of the game and then to the end of it. And then obviously on the goal line carries, he looked good.
Well, wide receiver. Okay. Evan says Dak and Harris. Yeah, for sure. Again, DM either of us the team. We'll be able to help you a lot better.
All right. We're gonna head off of here since the game has already started. So
give me James Robinson lock.
Yeah.
But
sure.
yeah, appreciate that, boys, and take care.
Yep. Take it easy. Enjoy the game.